hopefully this stays that way. So what we're looking at now is the second part of this, where we're going to look at in Daniel, where it tells you about the same thing. We're going to look at Daniel 9:26. Daniel 9 and 26. And we're going to pick up there. It says, and after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off. So now we know the Messiah is going to be killed. This is what this is saying right here. But not for himself, in the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and at the end thereof shall be a flood, and until the end of the war of desolation, until the war desolations are determined. 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cease to sacrifice and oblations to cease. He should cause the sacrifice and oblations to cease. And the overspreading of abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. So we know he's going to be cut off in the midst of the week, because this is what it's talking about. For many in 1 week, and then in the midst of the week, he should cause the sacrifice and oblations to cease. Why? It tells you right up at the top. It says, and after the 62 weeks, the Messiah should be cut off. When he's going to be cut off? In the midst of the week. This is what he's talking about. So we know within the midst of the week he's going to be cut off. So what day is that? That is on a Wednesday or the 4th day of the week. This is what we do know. So now that we know that, we have to understand what is happening here. And I'm only put that up for a second to where I can make sure this time we can keep going back and forth. So I'm going to make sure of that, but we're going to go right back into this and look at this here, because now we know what it says here, because I keep that over there, Genesis 1 and 5, to where we know evening and morning were the first day. So we know evening and evening is 1 day. So now we're going to look at this now. And he know it was about the 6th hour. So what, again, if you wrote it down, we know what the 6th hour was. The 6th hour was 12 noon. So let's go back and we're going to look at 12 noon. We right there where we're looking at 12 noon. And then we know at the 9th hour, we're going to 3. Again, we're looking at the same thing. So we knew that time, within that time frame, he died between 3 and 4. It's the same thing. So we know between 3 and 3:30 and 4 o'clock, he died. So, and let's say the same thing again. He went and Joseph went and was able to take the body down after going and begging to Pilate, and he was able to put it in the sepulcher. And at 6 o'clock still, that's the 5th day. But let's say he was in there. The same thing we want to hold to. Say he was in the sepulcher between 4 and 5. Let's say 5:30. He was in there. But now he's in the sepulcher at the 5th day at 6 p.m. So we know the entire 5th day of the week is Thursday. Now the women could have came and looked, as it says. Now when you go back to what part is that? We're going to look back where the women came and beheld where they laid him. And we're going to pick that up right back in Luke 23 and 53. And it says, and they took him down and wrapped him in linen and laid him in the sepulchre, and he was that was a hewn stone wherein man never was laid. And that day was the preparation of the Sabbath drew on. So we knew it was coming. So the same as I said, so we knew it was coming because that's the 5th day of the week. So we knew it was coming on. Now, and the women which had came from Galilee followed after, and beheld the sepulchre of his body was how his body was laid. So now they came and checked and see how the body was laid. They could have did all this on Thursday, and some could have went even close to Friday. But this is what's going on. Now we're going to say, and they return. So once they return, we saying on Thursday. They return back to their home, but then on Friday, the 6th day of the week, because it says on their return, and prepared spices and ointments, and they rested on the Sabbath day. So we know this is what they did. So we know on Friday, from that time, from that morning and that dawn, they did that up until the Sabbath, and then they rested. But now we're going to see. Now we have the Sabbath day that comes all the way to 6 p.m. Now at 6 p.m. the Sabbath day have came on. If you look at my illustration there, it's showing you directly exactly what's happening. Now we know at 6 p.m. on the Friday is the Sabbath day kicks in. Now you have a whole nother set of hours. So now we have all these hours going in again, and now what we're going to look at is the Sabbath day. So now Jesus had all this time still to lay in this sepulcher at that time. So if he's laying in there at that time, now he was laid in there between 4 and 5 p.m. So if he's laid in there between 4 and 5 p.m., let's go back and we're going to count these 3 days and 3 nights that he was cut off in the midst of the week. Now we're going to go back up to the midst of the week. We're going to go back up to Wednesday. Say he was laid down at 5 p.m. So if he laid down at 5 p.m., we're going to look at now 6. That's Friday. That's the 5th day. So we're going to say 1. So the whole 5th day, we know he was in the belly of the earth on the 5th day of the week. The 6th day, we know he sat in there the entire 6th day of the week. We're going to look at the Sabbath day. We know he sat in there, but you still have that hour still clinging there, or hour to hour and a half that you still clinging to where he still would have fulfilled that time. From where? From the midst of the week. From where he was laid in the belly of the earth. The same time he was in the sepulcher. So he went in the sepulcher between 4 and 5 o'clock. You had the same time down here. So he rose up between 4 and 5 p.m. And then the first day of the week has already happened. And he's already gone by 6 p.m. on the first day of the week. So what had happened is you can go right back up to this here, and you'll see at 6 p.m. the first day of the week. And when that Sunday kicks in, that first day of the week, and they come, you got 6 p.m. and you have all these hours that went, and then they didn't show up to almost 7 hours later. He's already gone. This is what people sit there and say. But what we look at is this. He tells you clearly exactly what he says all the time. And it looked like it might want to hang one more time. And I hate to have to stop this again. We're going to see here. We're going to have to stop this again to make sure exactly what he says all the time. And it looked like it might want to hang one more time. And I hate to have to stop this again. We're going to see here. We're going to have to stop this again. Exactly what he says all the time. And it looked like it might want to hang one more time. And I hate to have to stop this again. We're going to see here. We're going to have to stop this again to make sure exactly what he says all the time. And it looked like it might want to hang one more time. And I hate to have to stop this again. We're going to see here. We're going to have to stop this